Welcome to AI Horizons, the podcast where we explore the limitless possibilities of artificial intelligence. Each episode takes you on a deep dive into cutting-edge developments, groundbreaking technologies, and the fascinating perspectives shaping the future of AI. Whether you're an enthusiast, a professional, or simply curious about the impact of AI on our world, join us as we uncover the innovations driving this ever-evolving field. Get ready to expand your horizons.
All right, strap in, everyone, because today we're going deep on something pretty intense, the kind of thing that makes you want to hide under the covers, but also makes you super curious, Climate change and AI. We're talking floods and droughts and the whole planet heating up like a microwave on high, but we're also going to look at how AI could be the secret weapon to fight back against all this. It's like a sci-fi movie, but in real life. So, yeah, things are about to get really interesting.
Yeah, no kidding. It's definitely a mixed bag. We've got some really tough realities to face when it comes to the economic side of climate change. Like, just imagine by 2050, the global economy could shrink by like 18%. If we don't do anything, it's like wiping out almost a fifth of the world's wealth.
Whoa, 18%. That's not just some minor market fluctuation. That's like a global recession on steroids.
Yeah.
What does that even look like?
Well, think about it. Like, whole industries could be reshaped. Millions of jobs could be lost, and it's a recipe for increased poverty on a massive scale. And the scary thing is, even the wealthiest nations wouldn't be safe. The U.S. economy alone could take a 10% hit.
Okay, so it's not just about, like, saving the rainforest. It's about saving our own skin, too. And we haven't even touched on the environmental fallout yet. Yikes.
Yeah, exactly. The economic turmoil is just one piece of this this giant puzzle. The environmental side is, well, let's just say it's not pretty. I mean, 16 out of the 17 warmest years ever recorded have happened since 2001. That's not a random blip on the radar. It's a clear trend.
Yeah, and it's pretty hard to ignore. Like, every summer feels like it's breaking a new heat record.
Yeah.
But it's got to be more than just needing to crank up the AC, right? What kind of consequences are we talking here?
Well, imagine a world where floods and droughts are way more common and way more intense. Like, think about communities being displaced, agriculture getting wiped out, and resources getting stretched thinner and thinner. We're already seeing these extreme weather events all over the news, and it's only going to get worse from here on out.
It's like the planet is screaming at us, sending out these
Right.
crazy weather events as a giant SOS.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole rising sea level thing, which is like a slow motion apocalypse in itself, right?
Yeah, unfortunately it is. And it's driven by, three main things. You've got thermal expansion, which is basically water expanding as it warms up.
Yeah.
Then you've got the melting glaciers and ice caps. And probably the most worrying of all, the massive ice sheets in Greenland and West Antarctica are literally crumbling.
It's hard to wrap your head around something that huge disappearing.
Yeah.
Like, entire island nations could just vanish beneath the waves.
Yeah, and this isn't some far-off future. The effects are already happening right now in coastal communities all over the world.
Okay, so we've got economic chaos, a planet that's basically on fire, and the oceans are rising like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel a little hopeless, to be honest, but
Yeah.
it's got to be some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, there might be. And this is where AI comes in. It's not, a magic solution, but it has the potential to be a really powerful tool in this fight. AI can help us understand climate change better. We can use it to try to slow things down and adapt to the changes that are already happening in ways that we never could have imagined before.
Okay, so AI, our potential climate savior. Tell me more. How can algorithms and data crunching actually help with a problem this massive?
Well, think about it this way. AI can analyze huge amounts of data, way more than any human could. And that means we can get a much deeper understanding of climate patterns, right? And we can predict extreme weather events with more accuracy. Maybe even design infrastructure that's smarter and more resilient, built to last.
So it's like having a super intelligent climate advisor crunching all the numbers for us.
Yeah.
And helping us make better decisions. That's pretty amazing. But I'm guessing there are limitations, too. Like, AI can't just wave a magic wand and fix everything, can it?
No, you're right. It's not a silver bullet. Like, with any powerful technology, there are risks involved, and we need to be really careful about how we develop and use AI. One of the biggest challenges is making sure that AI is, ethical, that it's not biased, and that it's used for good and not for, bad stuff.
So it's not enough to just build smart AI. We need to make sure it's ethical AI.
Yeah.
And that we're the ones in control, making sure these systems are working for us, not against us, right?
Exactly. We need to approach AI with cautious optimism, Embrace the potential, but never forget the risks. It's a delicate balance, but it's crucial if we want to use this technology to really make a difference for the better.
A lot to think about, and we're just getting started. We'll be back after a quick break to dive even deeper into this fascinating world, where AI and climate change collide. Stay tuned.
It's pretty amazing, actually. AI's potential isn't just limited to, you know, the big picture stuff like climate models and disaster prediction. It's popping up in some pretty unexpected everyday places too.
Oh, really? Like what kind of everyday AI is secretly fighting climate change?
Think about something like garbage collection. There are these smart trash cans out there that use AI to basically make waste management more efficient. They've got sensors that keep track of how full they are, and the garbage trucks only get sent out when the bins are like almost overflowing.
So less wasted trips for the garbage trucks, which means less fuel used and fewer emissions. That's actually pretty cool. I never thought I'd be impressed by a trash can. What else?
Well, self-driving cars are, a big topic these days, and people don't always think about how they could actually be good for the environment.
Yeah, I usually think of self-driving cars as like a cool futuristic thing, not really a climate solution. How does that work?
Well, the thinking is that autonomous vehicles could be a lot more fuel efficient than human drivers because, they can optimize routes, they can accelerate and brake more smoothly, and they don't waste fuel idling, like we humans tend to do.
So it's like having a computer that's a way better driver than any of us. And that translates into a smaller carbon footprint. That's awesome. What about the old classic, planting trees? Is that still a big part of this solution?
Oh, absolutely. Reforestation it's essential for combating climate change, and AI can actually help us do it even better.
I get how drones could be used to plant trees, but how else does AI fit in there?
It's not just about planting trees, it's about planting them in the right places. AI can help us figure out the best locations, taking into account things like soil type, rainfall patterns, even the existing vegetation. And AI can even help us monitor the health of the forests and spot potential problems like diseases or invasive species.
So we're not just randomly planting trees, we're using AI to make sure they have the biggest impact, like having a digital forest ranger, making sure our efforts are actually effective. We've talked about a lot of specific examples, but what's the big picture here? What kind of future are we actually working towards?
Well, ultimately, I think we're striving for a sustainable future, a future where we can live in harmony with the planet, where economic growth doesn't have to mean environmental destruction, and where everyone has the opportunity to live a healthy and fulfilling life.
That sounds like a pretty idealistic vision. What are the key ingredients to actually making that happen?
I think it boils down to three things, really: sustainability, innovation, and collaboration.
Okay, let's break those down. What exactly do we mean by sustainability in this context?
Sustainability means, living within the planet's limits, basically. It's about using resources wisely, reducing our environmental impact, and making sure that future generations inherit a healthy planet. It's about recognizing that our well-being is directly tied to the well-being of the planet.
Like shifting from a mindset of taking from the planet to giving back to it, living in balance. How does innovation fit into all of this?
Innovation is all about finding new and creative solutions to the challenges of sustainability. AI is a perfect example. Whether it's developing clean energy, managing resources better, or even creating more sustainable materials, innovation is key to building a better future.
So we're not just talking about using less, we're talking about doing things differently,
Yeah.
smarter, more sustainably. And what about collaboration? Why is that so important?
Climate change is a global problem. It affects everyone, and no one country or company or organization can solve it alone. We need governments, businesses, researchers, and individuals all working together, sharing knowledge and pooling resources.
It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle where everyone has a piece and we need to put it all together.
Exactly. It's about breaking down silos, having open conversations, and recognizing that we're all in this together.
So it's a team effort. We need everyone on board if we're going to create a truly sustainable future. You mentioned earlier that there are some risks associated with AI. It's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the potential downsides we should be aware of?
Yeah, that's a really important point. We can't just ignore the potential risks. While the benefits of AI are huge, we need to be proactive and think about the potential downsides.
What are some of the red flags we should be watching out for?
One of the biggest concerns is bias in data. AI systems learn from the data they're fed. And if that data is biased, well, AI can end up being biased too. And that can lead to uh, some pretty unfair and even harmful outcomes.
It's like that saying, garbage in, garbage out. If we train AI on biased data, we're going to get biased results, and that could have some serious consequences.
Exactly. Another thing to think about is the potential for job displacement. As AI and automation get more sophisticated, there's a risk that, well, that machines could start replacing human workers in certain jobs.
Yeah, the whole robots taking our jobs thing, it's a real concern, and it's something we need to address carefully.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
We need to figure out how to make sure that the benefits of AI are shared by everyone, and that we're preparing people for the jobs of the future.
It's not just about technological advancement, it's about social adaptation, too. We need to make sure everyone is ready for the changes AI might bring. What other risks should we be thinking about?
Well, security is a big one. AI systems can be vulnerable to hacking. And if someone were to hack into an AI system that controls, say, critical infrastructure like a power grid or a transportation network, well, the consequences could be devastating.
It's like the digital equivalent of someone messing with the control panel of a nuclear power plant. The stakes are incredibly high.
And then there's the issue of control. As AI becomes more autonomous, we need to make sure that humans are still in control, that we have safeguards in place to prevent AI systems from doing things that could harm humans or the environment.
It's that classic sci-fi fear, right? AI becoming too powerful and turning against us. We need to make sure that stays in the realm of fiction. So how do we navigate all of these risks? How do we make sure AI is used for good and not for evil?
Well, I think the key is responsible AI development. That means putting ethics first, being transparent about how AI systems are built and used, and establishing clear guidelines and regulations.
So it's not just about building cool technology, it's about building it thoughtfully and ethically.
Exactly. It's a complex challenge, but it's one we have to face head on. It requires collaboration between everyone involved, researchers, policymakers, industry leaders, even the public. We need to work together to make sure AI aligns with our values and our goals as a society.
It's not just a tech issue, it's a societal issue. We need to have a serious conversation about how we want AI to shape our world and what kind of guardrails we need to put in place.
Absolutely. We need to be proactive, not reactive. We need to shape the future of AI, not let it shape us.
That's a powerful message. We have a choice to make, and the decisions we make today will have a huge impact on tomorrow.
There's another side to this whole conversation that I think often gets overlooked. It's the potential for AI to actually reconnect us with nature.
Really? That's an interesting perspective. I usually think of technology as something that kind of distances us from the natural world. How can AI help us bridge that gap?
Well, AI can give us a much deeper understanding of nature than we could ever have on our own. Imagine using AI to analyze data from sensors and cameras to track animal migrations, monitor the health of ecosystems, or even predict natural events like wildfires or floods.
It's like having a superpower that lets us see the world through nature's eyes. We could unlock all sorts of secrets and patterns that we never even knew existed.
Exactly. And that's not all. AI can also be used to create immersive experiences that connect us with nature in totally new ways. Like, imagine virtual reality experiences that transport you to a coral reef or a rainforest, letting you experience the beauty and wonder of these places firsthand.
It's like a virtual passport to the natural world, bringing these experiences to people who might never have the chance to see them in person. I love that idea. So AI can help us understand nature, appreciate nature, and even experience nature in new ways. That's pretty incredible.
It is. And that connection with nature is so important. The more we understand and appreciate the natural world, the more likely we are to protect it.
It's about recognizing that we're not separate from nature, we're a part of it. Our well-being depends on the health of the planet. This whole conversation has been really eye-opening. We've explored how AI could be the key to solving some of our biggest challenges. But we've also talked about the risks that come with such a powerful technology. It feels like we're at a crossroads, and the choices we make now will determine our future.
I agree. We're at a pivotal moment in history, and AI is going to play a huge role. The question is, will we use it wisely?
Well, we've really gone deep on this one, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
From climate change being, well, pretty terrifying, to AI being both this potential savior and this wild card that could shake things up even more. It's like, we're stepping into this whole new world where technology and nature They're kind of like merging together.
It is. It's a really interesting time, that's for sure. And it's not just about, how AI can help us deal with the effects of climate change. It's about how it could actually change how we see and interact with nature.
You've touched on that a few times, and I got to admit, it's got me thinking. Like, I usually picture technology and nature as being on opposite sides,
Right.
But you're saying AI could actually help us bridge that gap.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for centuries, we've been trying to understand nature by, watching it, experimenting with it, analyzing it. But with AI, it's like we have this tool that can supercharge all of that. We can process tons of data, spot patterns that we would never see on our own, and really get a handle on like how ecosystems work on a much deeper level.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for nature, unlocking all these hidden mysteries.
Yeah, exactly. And the implications of that are, well, they're huge. The more we understand about nature, the more we start to appreciate it, like its complexity, how everything's connected and how delicate it all is. And that appreciation can make us more responsible about protecting it.
So it's not just about using AI to fix specific environmental problems. It's about using it to build this deeper connection with nature, a connection that could inspire us to live more sustainably.
Exactly. And that's where things get really exciting, I think. Like, imagine a world where AI helps us design cities that blend seamlessly with nature, buildings that are as energy efficient as ecosystems, transportation systems that are modeled after like the flow of nutrients through a forest.
It's like taking inspiration from nature's playbook.
Yeah.
And using AI to turn that into a blueprint for a more sustainable way of life. But let's be real for a second. We're still pretty far off from that.
Yeah.
From that perfect future. There's still a ton of challenges ahead, both technological and societal.
Ooh, for sure. But I'm an optimist, I really believe that if we're smart about this, if we develop AI responsibly and with a clear purpose, if we collaborate and share what we learn, and if we really think about the ethical implications of this powerful technology, then we can use it to make the world a better place.
It's a call to action for all of us, I think, to stay informed, to join the conversation, and to demand that AI is developed and used ethically and sustainably. It's about taking control and shaping the future we want, not just sitting back and letting it happen to us.
That's a great way to put it. We have a choice. We can either let fear and uncertainty hold us back, or we can embrace the possibilities that AI offers and use it to build a better world for ourselves and for future generations.
Oh, well said. This deep dive has really been a reminder that while the challenges we face are, well, pretty massive, so is our capacity for innovation and collaboration. We have the tools, we have the knowledge, and I think we have the collective willpower to create a more sustainable and equitable future. It's time to step up, embrace the possibilities, and make it happen.
It's been great exploring all this with you.
Same here. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Remember, the future isn't set in stone. It's a story that's still being written. And we all have a part to play in shaping how it unfolds.